Well, good morning. Today is Friday, February 19th. It's time for our weekly meeting highlights. So let's see how Sandy did this week on her weight loss quest or journey or whatever you want to call it. Okay, as you can see, I had a 0.2 gain. Why am I happy? I thought I was going to gain way more than that. I had a lost weekend last weekend, and I went crazy. So a 0.2 gain, I'll take it. But I'm definitely, and I know I've said this before, but I definitely am going to have a loss next week because it's Lent. I can follow a plan for those 6 weeks. Don't ask me why not the 46 other weeks, but this 6 weeks I know I'll do well. And if you don't watch my daily vlog, my goal is to lose 100 pounds by Easter Sunday. So if my 2.2 gain now, I put myself at 87.6 pounds loss, which means I have to lose 12.4 pounds in 6 weeks, which is just a tinge over 2 pounds a week. I'm not going to do it with a 0.2 gain every week, so next week I have to have a 2.6 loss. That's what I'm striving for. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. But it'll get me that much closer. That's all that really matters. But today the weekly technique is talking about how to make tracking work for you. I could have used this last weekend. I had someone ask me how come I didn't do the points or track on Sunday, because I went so crazy. I went crazy Saturday and Sunday. And although I did track some of my points, I didn't track all my points because I just didn't want to see it written down in paper, facing me right in the face. And it came back to bite me, 0.2 gain. So it just proves that you need to track. I try to always track on paper and on my phone because I have the Weight Watcher app. So I somewhat tracked on Sunday. It was ugly. It was ugly, and I stopped tracking because it was so ugly. And so anyway, that was in the past. That was behind me. Stop looking in the rearview mirror. Look forward. You're not going to get anywhere by looking back. You got to look forward. The only way you want to look back is to learn from your mistakes. And I learned that I have to treat Saturday and Sunday as any other day of the week, and that's my goal, at least for Lent. Hopefully, they say a habit forms within a month. So in 6 weeks, I hope I've redeveloped the habit of not going crazy on the weekends. When I first started Weight Watchers, and I had really good losses, the weekends were just like any other day. And so I don't understand how the concept changed for me that it's the weekend that I could go crazy, because I just can't. But back to how to get tracking working for you. Make tracking part of your regular routine in a way that works best for you by answering the questions below. Then test out this technique for the week to see how it goes. Let's see how this goes. Number 1, is it easier to track all your daily food at once or as you go? I find that if I have done weekly menus, I have done them, and they do work for me, but I'm not really overly consistent with it, and I'm not really a scheduled type of person. I don't like to be on a schedule. I mean, when I worked, obviously I had to be to work because I worked from 6 to 3. Obviously I had to be to work by 6 o'clock, and I had to be there till 3. So that was a schedule I had to keep. But I don't necessarily eat my breakfast at a scheduled time, or I don't very rarely eat lunches. I'm trying to eat 3 meals. And my dinner. I never go to bed at the same time. I always go within a range. I go to bed between 1 and 3 in the morning, and I get up between 8:30 and 10:30 in the morning, depending on what time I went to bed, because I like to get at least 7-8 hours of sleep, which I have no problem doing. They say the older you get, the harder it is to get your sleep in. I don't find that to be true for me. I can fall asleep in the chair like an Olympic champion. Give me a gold medal. Because thankfully, you now have rewind on your remotes, because I'll be like watching something and then I'll wake up and I go, what's going on? And then I got to back it up, and then I back it up and see I was nodded off for like 15 minutes, like little cat naps. But so for me, the The furthest I get is in the morning when I wake up. I do plan what I'm going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I track it on my phone right away before I get out of bed. I've tracked it on my phone. And then during the day, I track it on my paper notebook, and then I compare it as the day goes by to see if I really stuck to the plan that I was. I'm following the green plan now. I do find that the first week I followed it and I stayed within the 30 points that I'm allowed, and I think I had a 0.6 loss, and I determined that I needed to go a little bit under the 30 points, and so for Monday through Friday I've been averaging right around 25 points, which I think attributed to the fact that I had the 0.2 gain, not because I had so many less points, it's because I was able to make up for the damage I did on the weekend. And number 2 is, do you prefer tracking before, during, or after you eat? I prefer to do it before I eat. I did all my tracking last weekend after I ate, and that's where my problems started, because Sunday I tracked my breakfast, and then I did have lunch, and I tracked my lunch, but by dinner I was so far over I thought, I'm not. And then I just gave up. So, and number 3 is, how do you handle estimating smart points value when you don't know an exact answer? I think I just kind of try to use common sense. I have to work on my portion sizes. When I look at my plates, I can see that that's a lot of food for one person to consume. I'm really trying to cut back. Now, a lot of it is like, my vegetable platter looks like a vegetable platter you put out for a party. I know that to be true. But I don't eat it all at once sitting down. Like I'll eat it, but then I'll kind of snack on it for a couple hours. I'll put I'll put it in the refrigerator and then take it back out. Joan at Joan's Point of Plate has a little ice tray that she keeps it on, so she can, like, if she's going by, grab it and nibble on it and stuff like that. I tend to think that for me that's just too much grazing, and I can't do that for me. It works for her, it works for her family, but it doesn't work for me. So I just eat what I'm going to eat and then put it in the refrigerator, and then maybe in a half an hour or an hour afterwards, maybe take it out and eat a little bit more. But I think that I'm pretty good now at looking at, like, if I cut off a hunk of cheese off of a brick of cheese, I'm pretty good at getting really close to an ounce. I still weigh it out now. Before I wasn't doing it. And, I really in the past have been getting a little bit more generous. So it was like 1.3, 1.4. The little 0.4s, they're going to add up. So another thing I was having a problem with is, I know that I can eat a quarter cup of nuts, but I always thought, well, if I just ate 3 or 4 nuts at a time, as I'm walking by the nut jar, just grab a couple and snack on them, I'd be fine. But then one day I decided to put them in a measuring cup and then snack on them during the day, and I realized that within an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, that quarter cup was gone, and I still wanted more. So I knew I was eating more. So just common sense, I think, works for that. And number 4, do you ever save your meals in the WW app for quicker tracking, or do you tend to start from scratch each time? I start from scratch each time. I don't save them. I don't know why, but probably because I'm not really that tech savvy. I don't know how to do all of that. I just, I'm trying to learn. I'm learning some editing skills and things like that, but they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. This dog wants to learn some new tricks, and so I'm always on the lookout for something new and something to inspire me to try a little bit better with things in life. And number 5 is, what strategies do you lean on? Do you use the barcode scanner taking pictures of your meals? When I do show you my food, obviously I'm taking pictures of my meals. I kind of got out of that habit of showing you my food on my daily vlog. No particular reason. I tell you at the end of the day what I had to eat. And sometimes I just don't film it. Maybe I should start filming again. Maybe not on an everyday basis, because I kind of felt like chained to it type of thing, and I don't like that feeling of being chained to anything. So I'm pretty much a free spirit. I like to just come and go and not hold to a schedule or things like that. So I just but I always use the barcode on the app if I'm not really sure of something. But after I've been on Weight Watchers for 4 years, you pretty much know what the point value is. I did recently switch to the green plan, so a lot of the foods I just scanned to double check. A lot of the 0 point foods are the same on the blue and the green. I do find that the green, you have to count your proteins a little bit more for as far as points go, but that's why they give you more points, because they're figuring that you're having the proteins. But so far I'm liking the green plan, and I do plan on staying with it at least until Easter Sunday. It said studies show that tracking consistently, also known as more often, even if there is less detail, is more important on the road to success than trying to track every little detail of what you eat daily. I don't track every little thing that I eat, I'll be honest. I just don't track every little thing that I eat. But most of the things I don't track are 0-point foods anyhow. An apple, my berries, a banana, things like that. I don't really track them. On my app and on my paper, I do write down what I'm eating, but as far as on my app itself, I just put the point value of the foods on my app. That's why when you do that, figuring out what works for you is key to fitting right. That's why figuring out what works for you is key to fitting tracking into your routine. By taking away worrying about perfection, we're more likely to do it and keep it on a regular basis. This is not a journey of perfection. This is not really a journey of consistency. In the sense that consistency means that you always do it, always do it, always do it. You're going to mess up somewhere along the line, but consistency doesn't mean failure if you mess up one day. Consistency doesn't mean that it's impossible to make a choice, to make a better choice, but it just means that you need to try to be consistent, but if you can't, just try to be better. That's all you can really try to do. And based on how you answered the above questions, figure out how you can track. That might mean snapping photos of your food and tracking all at once, or tracking your meals as you go. I might get back to tracking showing you my food again on my daily vlog. I'm not making a commitment to that, but I just might. Who's to know? But I'll try. But I definitely am tracking everything I eat, and I think that for Lent I'll put every little BLT, which is bite, licks, and tastes, into my app, just to show myself that I'm doing it and prove that that I can do better. And then the second thing to do is then figure out when you'll track. That might mean setting aside 5 to 10 minutes after dinner every night to make it happen, or right before you eat. Like I said, I track in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, I say my morning prayers, get out and play some games on my phone, check my news alerts to see what's going on, look at Facebook, check my email, and then track my day for what I'm going to have to eat for the day. Obviously that means I stay in bed for a little bit. But when the weather gets nicer, that my routine will change, because what I'll do then is I'll say my prayers before I get up, get dressed, go for my walk, but while I'm walking I'll be thinking about all of that stuff. I won't be playing games on my phone, but I'll be thinking about what I'm going to eat for the day. There's their little known fact. Did you know 74% of WW Success Registry members reported tracking smart points most of the time or always? I find that true. I think most people do it most of the time. I try to always do it, but I don't always do it. And it was like I gave up sweets for Lent. And so I don't know about this one, because it's just right up my alley. It's a strawberry lemon baked donut. It's 4 points on the green and 3 points on the blue and the purple plan. It has all my favorites in it. Strawberries. I do like lemon. So I might make this and not consider it a snack or a treat, but part of my meal. And I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but to me a donut is like a Dunkin' Donut, or a donut from the Kroger bakery, or a Tim Hortons donut, or from our donut shop that's just recently closed because she retired, which is good because they made the best donuts in the world at the best prices in the world. But she retired, and so they closed down shop, and now they're going to put in a, I forget what they're called. You know, like the drinks, the healthy drinks, like I don't know what they're called. I know we got one up here on the other way on 23 Mile Road in Gratiot. can't think of what they're called. But you know, like you get the smoothies, like a smoothie, I guess. I'm not a big fan of smoothies. So anyway, I might do the donut, and because I do make an apple cinnamon donut, which I do have, and I don't consider that a donut. It's not Tim Hortons. It's not Dunkin'. Dunkin' Donuts is my favorite. If the world only had Krispy Kreme donuts, I would find a new passion, because that's the one donut I will not eat. I don't like a Krispy Kreme donut, and I know they're very famous and everybody loves them. Not this girl. I don't like them. They're too heavy, too fried. I don't know. Like a punchki, which I showed you the other day on my video. It's a jelly-filled donut. Sometimes it has custard in it, loaded with powdered sugar. It's about that big. It's huge. They say it's 16 points, but I don't believe that. I think they're more like 30 points. But they're too sweet. I'm sweet enough. I don't need a sweet donut. So, anyway, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, share if you think somebody might like to see this, and start tracking. You'll be amazed at how many points you're eating, or how much food you're eating, or how many calories you're eating, just if you write it down on a piece of paper. As always, stay safe, and I will talk to you on my daily vlog. And I will see you here next week.